always good to do this after a win.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports signing in, and welcome to another Chicago Bears preseason reaction as the Bears win 27-3 over the Bengals on their only home preseason game of this preseason. And there's a lot that I want to tackle. There's a lot that I kind of want to get into from this ball game, themes I've seen, all that in this reaction. But without further ado, let's dive into it. First thing is first, let's tackle the obvious thing in the room, and that is the Bears offensively. Now, I won't be the one that says that. I was personally one of the people that said, do not rush things with this offense. And I'm talking about the Bears fan base. Because, as we all know, everything in this offense is brand spanking new. Brand new quarterback, brand new coordinator, brand new system, brand new coaching staff, and quite a few new pieces. So I was one of those guys that was telling you guys that it's going to take time, and this preseason is going to be absolutely necessary for this Bears offense. And we seen that today with the first 3 drives of this Bears first string offense going 3 and out. It looked like they was a little bit off sync, and we had a miscommunication, which caused an intentional grounding. I think that was the second drive where Caleb Williams and Keenan had a bit of a miscommunication that led into that intentional grounding. He had some quick decisions, had some misreads, but one thing I will take away is, especially from those first 3 drives in particular, is that I like the way that Shane Waldron is using motion and scheming this offense, using the bootlegs. I do like some of the things that he's scheming. Now, I will be the first one to tell you guys that this ain't the full offense. This is not the full offense. I think during this preseason, they're working out some kinks. They're working out some things. We see a little bit more from Gerald Everett today. We seen Kmet today. And we did see a long bomb from Williams to Odunze, and that long play of scrambling on the run and throwing accurately on the run is one of the splash plays that, and one of the more accurate plays that got Caleb Williams to this height, got Caleb Williams to this trajectory. But like I said, those first 3 drives are reason why we have to be a little bit more patient with the Chicago Bears offense as a fan base, because I am one that's, even during, it's just high school, but it's always, and offense always takes a little bit longer than the defense to get rhythm, than the defense to get situated. It's always been like that from the time of me playing and watching football. Offense always takes just a bit longer to gel as a unit, especially when everything is brand spanking new, which we have in this Bears offense. But one thing I will take away from Caleb Williams is he has something special. Now, if you guys have been watching me over these past couple of months, I was always one of those guys that was a little bit on the reserve, and I wanted to see some of the things for myself in Chicago Bear game action for me to have a little bit of a stance on Caleb Williams. And what I've seen these last 2 games, and today in particular, was, I think, answered one of the questions that I particularly had on Williams is, what is he going to do when he handles some adversity? And we saw it today when the Bears didn't look great on those first 3 drives, went 3 and out, all 3 of them, but he stayed poised, he stayed with the program, and the Bears offense got things going, whether it was the reverse that I like to get Odunze the ball, get him in some space, use that speed, whether it was using Caleb Williams, rolling him out a little bit, and we saw the splash plays, him moving around in the pocket, in him on that first touchdown pass. And on top of that, a pass that I didn't bring up until now is that pass that he had to Tyler Scott, which if he wasn't held back by the Bengals defender, that would have been a completion as well. That was a very well-thrown football from Caleb Williams to Tyler Scott that should have been a completion if it was not for the pass interference penalty that ended up getting called on that particular play. I wish they would have converted in the end zone in that first shot instead of getting the penalties to get themselves backwards. But on the end of the day, it just seems like I think the more this Bears offense starts to get acclimated to Waldron, and Waldron starts to get acclimated to the weapons that he can use, whether it's Velus Jones in the backfield, Khalil Herbert, I'm still a big fan of his. You got DeAndre Swift, who didn't play today. But this Bears offense, I'm starting to really believe more and more of what this offense could be capable of. I was one of those that just had to see something on the football field first. On paper, it looks great. You got to see it on the field. It has to communicate. It has to do everything on that football field. And the more I watch this Bears offense, the more I'm starting to get excited. And the more I watch this Bears defense, the more I'm starting to get excited, because we seen Sweat play for the first time in this preseason today, and he made his impact. And another person that I want to talk about besides Austin Booker is the impact of what Kyler Gordon can have on his defense. I've always been a guy that really liked Kyler Gordon. He had some injury history throughout the first 2 years of his career. He missed last year. I think about a month with the broken hand. He had a hamstring and concussion issues in 2022. But when Kyler Gordon is healthy, he's one of the more impact players that the Bears have on this defense. Outside of Edmunds and Edwards and Jaylon Johnson and Sweat, Kyler Gordon is a guy that is going to make a big difference on this defense. And another thing about this defense, I like the things that they were doing, especially tackling and open field tackling. I think that's something that they did address this offseason was, well, not just offseason, but really training camp and coaching, is open field tackling. And we've seen a lot of it from the Chicago Bears defense today, whether it was the first unit, second unit, third unit, and the Bears got turnovers, interceptions, fumble recoveries. So at the end of the day, I think we just filled a lot of holes where as far as this Bears defense is. And I think they're building more and more off of that momentum that they had last year, that they were one of the hotter defenses in the NFL for the last half of the 2023 season. And for what we are seeing so far and the potential that this defense could possibly be with Eric Washington and Matt Eberflus, I think the Bears are heading towards a season where they could possibly have a top 5 defense in the NFL. And I will be one that will personally say this Bears team has some special things brewing. Now, offensively, we got to get more consistency going as far as this unit goes, and I think that's going to go with even more time and even more reps. And I just really think that this team has something special. Even though the Bengals, from what I've noticed, they really didn't play their starters on either side of the football. But at the end of the day, one question for mine for Caleb Williams' answer was, how will he handle adversity? And it seems like he handled it very well today. He had splash plays. He had accurate plays on a run. He had a perfectly thrown deep ball if it was not for a pass interference penalty. And we saw another explosion play from that long pass from him to Odunze, which can be a potential Bears combination for years to come. So I am one that I'm not going to say I was skeptical on Caleb, but I had to see it. I seen some things, and I'm really liking what I'm seeing. And I'm really liking the hire of Shane Waldron that comes from that Sean McVay type of system. So at the end of the day, from what I've seen in this football game with this Chicago Bears team on both sides of the ball from all the units, is that they play hard, which is something that is a really big principle under Matt Eberflus. And I like what Ryan Poles said during the broadcast, was that I'm glad that they stuck with the first unit offense longer than what we expected because things didn't go well. It really said, how could we handle adversity? And how could we get things going when things aren't going right? How will we respond as a unit? And the Bears responded well. So from what I take away from this game, Caleb Williams handles adversity well. Defensively, we can possibly have a top 5 defense. We take the ball away. We preach turnovers. And if Velus Jones gets everything put together, he could be another special weapon on this Bears offense. So I'm really liking what I'm seeing. I'm not going to make this too much longer. But the Bears do score their 3rd preseason win in 3 games to be 3-0 in preseason. And I will catch you guys later. And Hard Knocks is coming up. It better not be late this week. I'll see you guys then. Peace.